I guess the one big insight that defines our business is that we adults take learning way too seriously. Whenever people think about kids and online, they by default think learning. But the internet is not a platform which is built for primarily for learning. It's a platform built for exploration. So why should kids only be learning on the platform and not exploring?
Hey folks, welcome to First Cheque Portfolio Shorts. My name is Noah Martins, and this is a series where we speak to founders of our portfolio companies so that you get to know their team, understand what they're building, and the problem they are trying to solve. If you like the content that we've been putting out, do like, share, and subscribe so that we can reach more founders and startup enthusiasts like you. Today's very special guest is Anshul Gupta, co founder of Yellow Class. Yellow Class is a new age fun learning platform where kids between 2 to 12 years of age can learn from a wide range of classes like dancing, drawing, personality development, creative writing, and so on. Learning new things and making progress through real efforts helps kids improve their self esteem, and Yellow Class provides a platform for children to perform both. Yellow Class offers classes across 40 plus different categories and currently has 500,000 monthly active users. I had a great conversation with Anshul, and it is so cool to see his team succeeding at such a stellar rate. Stick around till the end of the episode to learn how they're doing it. Anshul, thank you so much for joining me. It's a pleasure to host you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Noah, for inviting me here.
Before we get into the questions, I'd love to say I love the Steve Jobs look that you have going right now.
Thank you very much. Much to do with the weather area in Gurgaon. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start by talking about the market that you're operating in.
So, well, we are in a very interesting market. Just to talk about it, today we are in the market of kids with the age between 3 to 12. You also call them tweens. And what we are trying, the market that we are essentially operating is on their screen time. Just to give you a reference, there are in India, there are around 100 million kids in India and around in that age group who would typically spend more than 3 hours in a day on screen. That number would be more like 600 million globally. Now, over the time in last 10 odd years, much of that time has moved away from TV to mobile phones, and now 65% of that time actually goes on YouTube. Screen time is not an aberration, it's a reality, right? Again, for reference, kids in a year spend more time on screen than in school. I'm talking pre-COVID, right? So that is a mega market that we are going after, and the idea is to improve the quality of that time.
Awesome. Okay, and what does your solution look like?
See, as I said, the fundamental problem that we have with say a YouTube kind of solution, why screen time is not something you can wish away. YouTube has two major challenges. One, it is all passive consumption, and second, it's some kind of a wild west, right? So if say a 7-year or 8-year-old kid is on YouTube, you're not sure where the algos are essentially taking the kid, right?
Yeah.
And there's tons of content which is, first, not something that you will subscribe to, may lead to anger or body consciousness issues with kids, or worst case could be extremely dark, right?
Yeah.
So while that is a major problem, the idea that we had was to how to improve this quality of time that is spent every day, on the screen. And what we started with is a whole bunch of co-curriculars and extracurricular classes. Now, when we say classes, these are essentially pre-recorded but live stream classes, which are essentially simulated live classes of a whole variety of categories like art, craft, dance, flameless cooking, GK, logical reasoning. So you may call them a whole bunch of edutainment categories, right? That kids love to be engaged with. The basic idea has been to ensure that kids are kind of actively engaged on the platform, and kind of we have been moving in that direction.
Okay, that's very cool. And what's your progress been so far? How big is your team? What is the traction like?
Sure. So we today have we have more than 60 people in the team now, which would include 20 people plus in tech, another few in product and design. Uh, in terms of traction, we would have half a million monthly active users today. That's a
Wow,
number.
that's crazy.
Thanks.
Just a little more than a year, right?
No, no. So more than a year is when we have been kind of there as a solution, as a product. We got launched effectively in January.
Okay,
That also kind of we started with web and then moved to app, and today we are
right.
essentially app only or app dominantly.
Yeah,
So currently, as I said, half a million MAU. That's like 2.5x of where we were in May, and we should be 3x of this number in next 3 months. That's
that's insane.
really.
That's awesome. So, throughout this entrepreneurial journey so far, what do you think are some unintuitive insights that you might have now that you've done this?
Okay. So one, I believe there are. I guess all founders have insights on which they build their fundamental business, right? And we have had a whole bunch of them. I guess the one big insight that defines our business is that we adults take learning way too seriously, right? So
Okay.
whenever people think about kids and online, they by default think learning.
Hmm.
But the internet is not a platform which is built for primarily for learning. It's a platform built for exploration.
Yeah,
And learning is a very small subset of it, an important subset of it, but it's a small subset of it. So why should kids only be learning on the platform and not exploring? And that is when kids love exploration. So that is something that forms a very core belief in how we work and look at our audience at Yellow Class, right? So we
that's
are
very interesting.
because and kind of that is also a point where we get misunderstood, where everybody, especially investors whom we are meeting the first time, would ask, okay, what are your learning outcomes? So that's the wrong question, right?
Hmm.
Why is learning outcome the primary focus, right? The focus is kids spending time productively, positively, exploring good stuff, right? So
Yeah,
there's no learning outcome to you spending or reading intelligent tweets, right? What is the learning outcome, right? That's not measured, but it's exploration.
yeah.
So that is how we kind of define our market, and we believe our market is way bigger than just edtech.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, my last question for you is going to be sort of like a three-part question.
Uh-huh.
Tell me about how you and your co-founder Arpit met. Talk to me about what your individual roles are running Yellow Class.
Hmm.
And lastly, tell me why should people want to come and join your team and help you build this or build this along with you?
Sure, sure. So first question first, Arpit and I kind of we knew each other more than 3 years before we actually started founded the team. Right, Arpit is a very friendly guy. He's the kind of guy that who would have 50 best friends. So I would kind of
Okay.
credit much of this to him, where he was very easy to be and fun guy to be with, and kind of the reason why we also gelled was that both of us were trying to build something in real estate tech, and it's a very tough market to build something in, and we would share our pains and tears together, and that got us friendly to each other. And as things would happen, my company got acquired by Prop Tiger. He also had kind of moved to Prop Tiger housing by that time. So we ended up in the same office, and 3 months into us doing that, we kind of knew we have to start something, and we immediately did. I have been a founder before, and I understand the importance of the fit between the founders, right? Also, fit as a founding team, that fit is very, very important. So, Arpit and I are very complementary. I am more of a macro guy, taking care of a lot of stuff in terms of engaging with stakeholders, both internal and external, at a broader level, ensuring we get the key guys hired at the key positions, uh, driving conversations externally, whether most of which is with investors, etc. Arpit, on the other hand, is a very hands-on, deeply, intensely hands-on guy. So he would take care of much of the stuff on the product growth side. Um, what we have in common, on the other hand, is the fact that we have very similar ideas of how we would want the business to be built, and that is what drives our consistency to what we have been trying to achieve.
Right. Very cool. And finally, why should people want to come and join your team?
We are number one. It's a uniquely large mega opportunity that we are working on. A consumer tech company which is in an extremely large market with a clear GTM, but a clear winner takes all market. So if you really want to be part of a journey which is a very steep growth one, right, where you can experience what it takes to build a large company, then this is the place to be. Where else would
Yeah. Yep. That's awesome. Okay, cool. Anshul, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. It was a pleasure to get to know your story and everything else that you're building right now. So, cheers. Thank you.
Thank you very much.